Men, the most important thing to evaluate on a first date isn't whether she's attracted to you, it's whether she respects you. Attraction can exist without respect, creating relationships where you're desired but not valued, wanted but not honored. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, smash that like and hype button, and drop a comment. Signal 1. She maintains eye contact when you're speaking, the attention respect indicator. When you're talking during the date, observe where her eyes are. Does she maintain natural, engaged eye contact that shows she's genuinely listening and values what you're saying? Or do her eyes wander around the room, check out other people, look at her phone, or drift away from you while you're speaking, showing through her gaze that your words don't command her attention or respect? What this reveals? This reveals whether she views what you say as worth her focused attention. Women who respect you naturally maintain eye contact when you speak because they value your thoughts and perspective. They give you the nonverbal signal that your words matter. Women who don't respect you show it through wandering eyes that communicate disinterest in what you're expressing, treating your conversation as background noise rather than meaningful communication. Notice the quality and consistency of eye contact. Respectful eye contact feels natural and engaged. She's looking at you because she's interested in what you're saying, not because she's consciously performing attentiveness. Disrespectful patterns show eyes that constantly drift away, requiring her to consciously redirect them back to you, or eyes that look at you, but through you, rather than with genuine focus. Watch what captures her visual attention when it should be on you. If she's easily distracted by movement in the restaurant, people walking by, or things happening around you while you're mid-sentence, she's not prioritizing your communication. Respect looks like filtering out distractions to focus on the person speaking. Disrespect looks like treating everything else as equally or more worthy of attention than you. Pay attention to the difference in her eye contact when you're speaking versus when she's speaking. If she maintains strong eye contact when talking about herself, but her eyes wander when you're sharing, the asymmetry reveals she respects her own voice but not yours. Mutual respect shows balanced eye contact patterns where both people's words receive focused attention. Observe whether she can maintain eye contact during disagreement or difference of opinion. Some people maintain eye contact when conversation is pleasant, but break it when challenged or when they disagree. If eye contact drops when you express a different opinion, she can't respect perspectives that differ from hers. Respect includes maintaining engaged eye contact even during disagreement. Why this matters? Eye contact during communication is fundamental respect signal. If someone can't give you their visual attention when you're speaking on a first date, when they're trying to impress you, they definitely won't respect your voice in a relationship. You'll spend the relationship feeling unheard and disrespected because her body language from the beginning showed she doesn't view your communication as worthy of her focused attention. Signal 2. Her body is oriented toward you. The engagement priority signal. Throughout the date, notice the direction of her body positioning. Is her torso, shoulders, and legs generally oriented toward you, creating closed conversational space that signals you're her focus? Or is her body angled away, toward the door, toward other parts of the room, or positioned in ways that create openness to external space rather than engagement with you? What this reveals? This reveals whether you're her priority focus or whether she's maintaining openness to her environment over connection with you. Women who respect you unconsciously orient their bodies toward you because you're what they're engaged with. Their physical positioning creates intimacy and signals that you're worth their bodily attention. Women who don't respect you maintain body angles that create distance or openness elsewhere, showing you're not compelling enough to warrant their full physical orientation. Notice particularly the position of her feet and legs. Feet point toward what we're interested in, often before we're consciously aware. If her feet point toward you, even when the rest of her body might angle slightly away for comfort, she's unconsciously drawn to engage with you. If her feet point toward the exit, the bathroom, or away from you, her unconscious intention is moving away from rather than toward you. Watch whether her body position creates inclusive space with you or maintains separation. If she leans slightly in, keeps her arms in ways that create closed conversational space between you, and positions herself to create sense of us in the environment, she's respecting the interaction by making you her focus. If she maintains very open body positioning that includes the whole room in her awareness, she's not prioritizing connection with you. Pay attention to how her body responds when you lean in or move closer. If you lean in during conversation and she maintains her position or subtly mirrors, by leaning slightly in as well, she's comfortable with increased proximity and engagement. If you lean in and she leans back or creates more distance, she's uncomfortable with closeness, which can signal discomfort with you specifically or general disrespect for your presence in her space. Observe whether her body positioning is consistent or if it changes based on what's happening. If she's oriented toward you during comfortable conversation, but her body angles away when conversation becomes more personal or meaningful, she's not respecting deeper connection. If she maintains orientation toward you, even during vulnerable or challenging conversation, she respects engagement with you across different emotional territories. Why this matters? Body orientation is unconscious signal of priority and respect. Someone whose body naturally orients away from you or maintains openness to everything except focused engagement with you is showing disrespect through their physical positioning. This predicts relationship patterns where you're never truly her priority, where her attention and focus are always somewhat divided, and where you feel like you're competing for presence that should naturally be yours in partnership. Signal 3. She respects your personal space. The boundary awareness indicator. During the date, observe how she handles physical space and boundaries. Does she respect your personal space, waiting for you to initiate any physical contact and respecting the distance you maintain? Or does she invade your space without reading your comfort level, touch you without invitation, or disregard physical boundaries in ways that show she's not considering your comfort or consent? What this reveals? This reveals whether she views you as a person with boundaries deserving respect, or as an object she can interact with according to her preferences without consideration for your comfort. Women who respect you pay attention to physical boundaries. They wait for signals that touch is welcome. They don't assume right to your physical space. Women who don't respect you treat your body and space as available for their interaction without needing your consent or comfort. Notice if she asks before touching or invades space without checking. If she says something like, "Can I see your watch?" before taking your hand, or creates eye contact before touching your arm, she's seeking permission. If she just grabs your hand, touches you repeatedly without invitation, or moves into your space without reading your comfort, she's not respecting boundaries. The presence or absence of checking behavior reveals respect for your autonomy. Watch how she responds if you create distance. If you subtly create more space between you and she respects that boundary, maintaining the distance you've established, she's reading and respecting your nonverbal communication about comfort. If you create space and she closes it again without acknowledgement, she's overriding your boundary setting, because what she wants matters more than your comfort. Pay attention to whether touch feels mutual or one-sided. If physical contact happens through mutual escalation, where you both move toward touch together, that's respectful. If she's initiating all touch and you're not reciprocating, but she continues anyway, she's not respecting that your lack of reciprocation is a signal. Respect includes reading and responding to other person's level of physical engagement. Observe if she respects verbal boundaries you set around touch. If you express any discomfort with physical contact, pulling back, making a comment, or setting a verbal boundary, does she immediately respect it? Or does she push back, minimize your boundary, or continue touching despite your expressed limit? Response to stated boundaries reveals whether respect extends beyond just reading unspoken cues to honoring explicit limits. Why this matters. Someone who doesn't respect physical boundaries on a first date will absolutely violate bigger boundaries in relationships. If she can't respect your space and body when you're just meeting, she can't respect your autonomy, decisions, or boundaries throughout a relationship. You'll be with someone who consistently overrides your limits because they believe what they want takes precedence over your comfort or consent. Signal 4. She mirrors your energy rather than dominating. The reciprocity indicator. Throughout the date, observe the energy dynamic. Does she generally match your energy level? When you're enthusiastic, she responds with engagement. When you're more subdued, she adjusts accordingly, creating balanced, reciprocal interaction? Or does she maintain her own energy regardless of yours, talking over you, dominating airtime, or creating dynamic where her energy consistently overpowers or disregards yours? What this reveals? This reveals whether she views interaction as mutual exchange deserving balanced energy, or as her stage where your energy is irrelevant to her performance. Women who respect you naturally engage in energy mirroring because they're attuned to you as a person in the interaction. They create reciprocal exchange where both people's energy matters. Women who don't respect you maintain their own energy without consideration for yours, treating the date as about them rather than mutual interaction. Notice if conversation feels balanced or dominated. If you both get roughly equal speaking time, with natural back and forth flow where neither person dominates, that's respectful energy balance. If she talks significantly more than you, interrupts frequently, or makes it difficult for you to fully express thoughts before she's talking again, she doesn't respect your voice enough to make space for it. Watch whether she picks up on your energy shifts. If you become more serious or thoughtful, and she continues at high energy without noticing, she's not attuned to you. If you show enthusiasm and she remains disconnected without matching it, she's not engaged with your emotional state. Respect includes being aware of the other person's energy and adjusting somewhat to create harmony. Pay attention to interruption patterns. Does she let you finish thoughts before speaking, or does she interrupt regularly? Does she seem to notice when she's interrupted you and self-correct? Or does she interrupt without awareness or concern? Frequent interruption is fundamental disrespect signal that shows she values her thoughts more urgently than yours and doesn't respect your communication enough to let you complete it. Observe whether she can be comfortable with your moments of quiet or if she needs to fill every silence. Respect includes being comfortable with natural pauses where neither person is performing. If she seems anxious during any silence and must fill it with her own talking, she can't tolerate space for you to exist without her energy dominating it. If she's comfortable with pauses, she respects that interaction includes quiet moments. Why this matters: someone who can't engage in reciprocal energy exchange and consistently dominates interaction doesn't respect you as an equal participant in the relationship. You'll spend the relationship being talked over, interrupted, and treated as audience for her rather than as an equal voice in mutual conversation. The energy imbalance visible on the first date only grows more pronounced in relationships.